The hall was filled with sharp suits, polished shoes, and the hum of whispered conversations. It was a conference room in a large corporate building in New York, where the nation's brightest minds had gathered. Economists, executives, professors, each with a degree as heavy as the books they carried, were locked in a heated discussion. Charts flashed on the screen, numbers danced on the slides, and yet no one seemed closer to solving the problem at hand. The issue was urgent. A company that employed thousands was on the brink of collapse. Its fall would ripple through families, neighborhoods, even entire cities. Ideas were tossed back and forth: cut jobs, raise prices, reduce costs. But each solution felt hollow, almost cruel. The tension in the air grew so thick that even the hum of the projector sounded impatient. In the far corner of the room, unnoticed by most, stood a woman in a faded uniform, pushing a cart with a mop and cleaning supplies. Her name was Margaret. For 15 years she had been cleaning those very halls, emptying bins, dusting tables, wiping away fingerprints from the glass doors. She had never spoken during meetings, never raised her voice among the suited professionals. She didn't belong in their world of jargon and graphs, or so everyone thought. But that morning, as she wiped the edges of the room, Margaret listened. She had always listened. To her, problems weren't just numbers, they were people. The workers at risk weren't just employees. They were fathers, mothers, neighbors, faces she greeted in the cafeteria. And as she heard one more complicated formula tossed onto the table, she set her cloth down, smoothed her apron, and quietly said, "I know the solution." The room fell silent. At first some chuckled. Others exchanged glances, as if a child had interrupted a serious debate. But Margaret didn't waver. She stepped forward, her hands trembling just enough to reveal her nerves, yet her voice carried a steady warmth. "You've all been talking about saving the company by cutting people out of it, but what if you let the people save the company?" The executives frowned, but curiosity kept them listening. Margaret continued, "These workers, you call them numbers, but I call them names. John, who works nights so his daughter can go to college. Rosa, who brings sandwiches for the others during long shifts. They care about this place. They don't just take from it. They give. Instead of raising prices or cutting jobs, why not open the doors? Let them share ideas. They know the work better than anyone. They know where waste happens, where things can improve. Give them a voice, and you might find answers you never thought of." The room shifted. Some leaned back, others scribbled notes. Margaret's words were simple, but they cut through the noise with the clarity of sunlight breaking a storm. She spoke for 10 minutes. About trust, about listening, about remembering that businesses were built not only on profits but on people. By the time she finished, the atmosphere had transformed. The arrogance had melted from the executives' faces. Silence hung for a breath, and then applause. Real, thunderous applause. Not polite clapping, but the kind that comes when truth has been spoken so plainly it leaves no room for argument. Margaret lowered her head, embarrassed by the sudden attention. She wasn't used to being seen, let alone celebrated. But in that moment, the simple cleaning lady had become the wisest voice in the room. The executives rose to their feet, some with tears in their eyes, realizing that sometimes solutions don't come from the top. They come from the heart. And in that hall, filled with the brightest minds, it was Margaret's humble wisdom that lit the way forward.